we walk by faith, not by sight. But what Andrew said is that someday when you are theosified or holy or at one, we are no longer, when you are the integrated divided man, when you get to that point where you are integrated, when your eye is one. So Jesus said in John 7, I believe, I can't remember if it's 6 or 7, but the eye is the lamp of the body. It's one of those confusing verses. And if your eye is one or pure, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is divided, your whole body will be full of darkness. And then James, St. James, in his epistle talks about the double-mindedness, and he talks about if you do not have wisdom, you're double-minded and you're tossed to and fro by every wave of doctrine, right? You're like, oh, do I believe this? Do I believe this? What's going on? But he said, so like to have one mind is to see with the mind of Christ, to be of one mind. And so if you have one mind, you no longer have the faith that comes from hearing, right? Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God, the logos of God, right? That's the New Testament verse. And this is a Jewish distinction between that I talked a little bit with Yosef about seeing and hearing. But if you just see, you no longer have to do that step removed thing where you're hearing. You're hearing from someone else. If you just see it, it's like you don't need a king. This is why I think in the Eschaton there won't be a king, and Christ will be a king, but not Christ in a way that would be like the Joseph king or the Davidic Solomonic king. It will be God in me, Christ in me. You won't need a king because God will teach you from the inner man, and faith. It won't be faith anymore. It'll just be seeing. You'll just see. So that's why, like Andrew said, Jesus in the New Testament, he could just see into the heart of men, right? He just knew things. The woman at the well, the Samaritan woman at the well, or where he debates with the scribes about, on whose authority does he do these things? And then this is why Jesus can always pin people down by asking them questions, because like he knows what's in your heart. Because he could just see it. It reminds me of like the Matrix, and Andrew was saying, it'll be unbelievable it's kind of science fiction-y, the kinds of freedom and ability that you'll walk on water. Like I when you see correctly, I truly think like nothing will be impossible for you. You'll have the faith to move mountains. You'll just see it, and sight will be reality. Pure act. This is why I think you need this merging of divine simplicity and process theism, because potency and act, God is both. God's becoming is our becoming. This is why even like the Sam Tiedemann distinctions of, I said this last night, sorry, and this is probably a heretical thing. Jesus was God and Jesus became God, because that distinction falls apart in the identity of identity and non-identity. And everything that's true of Christ, I think, will eventually be true of us. And I know a lot of people don't want to go there, but that's because they don't want to go off script. There we go. They just want to regurgitate that. I don't know if they truly know what they think about things. Okay, I'm going to open the closed loop of the Ouroboros. I mean, you got to do that.
Yes. Yeah.